Okay, so because we've just had the full moon, I decided I was going to pull a couple of cards today for you. So these are the romance cards. This is a moon tarot deck. It's called the Mystical Dream Tarot. Then we've got the Golden Path, Wisdom of the Golden Path, this particular deck. And then this is a angel deck. So I thought it might be nice just to pull a card from each deck, and if it resonates with you, great, but obviously if they don't, just leave it. But I feel this reading is for somebody today. So these have already been shuffled, and I'm just going to pull one for each. Put that to the top. So a lot of people are saying currently with the full moon in Pisces, that it's quite an emotional time for people, different emotions coming up for people. So that's thought it might be a nice idea just to pull a few cards for people. So I pulled the cards. You can either decide that you're just drawn to one pile, or you can be drawn to two piles, or if you feel all of the cards are relevant, then just see what each card is telling you. So this is the Romance Angels Oracle cards, and the card that has come up is Unrequited Love. So this card is basically to do with a romantic situation where one person has strong feelings for a person, but they're not being returned. So it's not a mutual balanced romance. One person has stronger feelings than the other. The little blurb on the card says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. I always feel with unrequited love cards that they tend to be referencing early romances, the early stages of a romance, or somebody that's attracted you, and you're trying to suss out, are they into you? Is there any possibility for a relationship, or a bit of romance, really? And this just indicates that this particular person you're thinking about or engaging with, that they're not feeling the same way. Equally, this could be somebody that's into you and you're just not into them. So what I would say in those scenarios, tough and at times heartbreaking though they are, it's better for the relationship not to continue, because, or the interest might not have even got to a relationship stage. It's better to kind of leave it where it is, because there's not going to be a balance there in that relationship. It just very much would feel like the relationship is not meant to be. So the second pile is the moon deck, the actual tarot deck, and what we've got here is Dreamer of Pentacles. Now this moon deck, they're all quite beautifully illustrated, and the moon, if the moon comes up in the standard kind of Rider-Waite tarot or so on, they always indicate going within, going into your emotions. And here we've got the Dreamer of Pentacles. So we've got different symbology coming up here. We've got the cockerel, we've got a crab, we've got a white wolf, and I mean, the first thing that's jumping out at me with this is the crab, and you've got the the sort of wax or waning moon in the middle of that. It very much clearly says to me the star sign of Cancer. So I would feel there would be a strong Cancer sign connected with this card. Whether it's to do with the person in the card or somebody that you're interacting with. And I just feel obviously very strong feminine energy with this. Female going in, so it could also be, your feminine side. And just going into those kind of nurturing emotions, tuning into those. I'm going to leave that there. I feel that fits in with the full moon nicely, actually, just that whole time of going within, getting to one with your feelings. Wolves tend to be about being very independent and being quite focused on your own needs. The cockerel would suggest to me sort of very practical, earthy, but also choosing your time to be heard. Cockerels are quite loud. They wake everybody up first thing in the morning, but with that, they're quite confident to call at whatever, 5 in the morning, whatever it is. And I just feel that sense with a cockerel is about choosing your time to be heard. That's what I get from that. The wolf symbol about being very self-motivated, self-disciplined, but about the self, following your own needs. And again, the crab, just very much a Cancer sign that would indicate, or the attributes of the Cancer sign, which tend to be very much about feeling into your emotions, going with your emotions. Crabs, as well as the Cancer sign, very tough exterior, but actually very gentle and soft and emotional behind that. So it's somebody that might give the appearance of being tough, but actually there's, big emotions bubbling underneath the surface. The Pentacle sign does tend to be linked to work and money. So it's sort of the everyday important things in your life, that structure. So this next deck is the Wisdom of the Golden Path guide. So it's like an oracle deck. So the card chosen was Unconditional Love. Kind of interesting that comes up with unrequited love. And unconditional love could be for anybody that's not in a relationship, not thinking about being in a relationship. Unconditional love to me is about yourself, but also, just try and get the camera up on that a bit better. We've got 2 people in here. It could indicate a relationship that you're in. So about not having any expectations of what you get back, that you love that person for who they are without expecting anything back. Often when you're in that frame of mind, you will get plenty of love back, but it's not having that attachment to the outcome of what you're going to get in return. And unconditional love can be in a platonic way. It can be about platonic friends. It can be about work colleagues. It's just about how you view life, that you are following the path of love, loving life, looking at the whole positive aspect of life, and not being fixed to any expectations in return. So, like I say, it's not necessarily about romance. It's about how your attitude in life currently. And it can be that you're doing that, you're behaving like that at the moment. It could be a little nudge or suggestion to say, why don't you try looking at life unconditionally, with unconditional love, without expectations. The last card, they're the angel. It's an angel deck. And the angel that has come up with this is the guardian angel of young love. This deck's quite interesting. I was actually given that by somebody. Very nice person called June. And she she would have had these cards for quite a while, so there's no particular company or anything listed on them, but you'll have the traditional well-known angels like Archangel Michael and so on, but there's some extra ones in this. So like this, the guardian angel of young love. There's a lot of orange in this card. There's also two little birds. The orange to me is a colour that can be used for healing. And it's also about learning. You've lots of gold in the background, and the little birds there can act as messengers from spirit for anybody that has that belief system. So it could suggest maybe, growing and learning and exploring with your own intuition and with your own spirituality. And one strand of that is about the afterlife, which would be mediumship. And just maybe it could indicate as well just a balance with, your higher powers and more earthly, our own earthly experience on earth, and having a childlike, youthful enthusiasm and interest in developing that. I feel very much that the young love is to do with just a youthful enthusiasm, not being coloured in a negative way, just being very open, and that whole openness to explore those aspects to do with your own spirituality and your development. The orange is also linked to your sacral chakra even. And that's about getting into tune in with your creativity. And creativity can be all forms of creativity. So it's about creating, growing and developing as well. The little bit of information on the card is: I accept love with gratitude. I am opened and made whole by its beauty. So there you go. That's 4 cards, 4 different decks. Just thought I'd introduce something maybe new to some people. And if any of this resonates with anybody, any feedback, obviously stick a little comment below. And yeah, have a good day, good week. Bye.